A lot of debate recently about tax cuts and whether they produce economic growth. So let's look at the Reagan tax cuts and their effect. In January 1983, tax rates dropped. That was the moment the economy got a shot in the arm. Fast forward to January 1989, when Ronald Reagan left the White House. In those 6 years, the economy grew at an annual rate of 4.8%. That is fact, and that is stunning. Joining me now is the aforementioned great man, David Stockman, former budget director under Reagan and author of the book Trumped. Okay. You know, there is some disagreement about growth rates that comes from tax cuts. You're not going to disagree with that, are you? 4.8% between January of 83 and January of 89, every year.
Yeah, but that's selective data. We had a massive, deep recession in 81 and 82. The Fed had to slam on the brakes because of double-digit inflation from Jimmy Carter. The economy then did bounce back when Volcker finally got the inflation job done, took his foot off the brake, allowed the financial system to start expanding, and the tax cuts helped. Beyond that, they were funded with massive deficits. We added $1.8 trillion. So between the monetary ease, the massive deficits, you got that growth, but you can't ignore the the reason for it.
All right. Okay. Are you still going to tell us that if we get massive tax cuts from Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, we still won't get 4.5% growth?
Absolutely not. There's not a snowball's chance, because it didn't happen then. I'm telling you guys over and over, if you take 1981 to 89 as a whole, growth was 3.4%. Pretty good. That's the same growth rate we had from 1953 to 1980. No change. What we have now is an economy that is so impaired with debt, 64 trillion, not 1 or 2. A government that is so buried in deficits and debt that it couldn't do the kind of massive deficit finance tax cuts that accidentally happened under Ronald Reagan. He wanted a balanced budget. He wasn't a Keynesian.
He did.
He was an anti-Keynesian. And
he wanted to cut spending.
But he tripled the national debt by accident.
It was the Democrats in Congress who would not balance the budget, who would not cut spending.
I would say, as the budget director, I have more credibility on that than anyone else, and I can tell you right now the Republicans wouldn't cut it either. We needed to reform Social Security, wouldn't touch. We needed to reform Medicare, wouldn't touch. We needed to get rid of farm subsidies. They kept them going. We needed to get rid of all these grant programs for community development and the National Endowment for the Arts. Okay. All the things that Donald Trump wants to cut today, I left in the vault at OMB as failed cuts from 1981 because Republicans wouldn't cut them.
We hear your case.
Okay.
I've stated mine. You stated yours.
There we go.
I still want a tax cut. Stockman, you're out of here. But look, well, David, thanks for joining us. We do appreciate it. We want some expertise on this, and you got it, and we appreciate it. Thank you, David.
Very good.